Okay, good morning, or good afternoon, everyone. This is Karl F. Rose, live from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Tuesday, June 11th, 2019. And if you hear some things going on, it's my neighbor is a single father, and he's got his little girl with him. And so if you hear those bumps and that sort of thing going on, well, that's what that is. So. Um, But anyway, I'm just okay. The reason I'm going live this way manually through my webcam is let me see if I can just get this. Okay, well, I can sit back there. Well, I don't like that. I'm trying with my going live with OBS. Let me see if let me turn this off and see. No, that's not going to work. Okay, let me try something else here real quick. I'm gonna turn something. I'm gonna turn something else on here. Hold on. Okay, that's a much better. Okay, yeah, I needed to turn on my different lights. I got different lighting settings. So okay, and I got all these cords and everything going. But this is going to work out a lot better. I won't have all the fancy intros and stuff that I do have with my OBS. I'll just save my OBS recordings for non-live stream stuff. So whatever, just typical fumbling and bumbling and getting used to it. But I actually like this new setup with Studio Beta streaming from the webcam. It is a lot smoother than the old system, and just on that. In fact, I'm going to hit the little when I get done with my live stream here. This is going to be short. We're going to talk about the Lions, and um, uh, what I don't have in here is I don't see any of the comments. I thought I had the comments set up. Well, whatever. Um, uh, I'll just have to do that anyway. But at least let me just get my microphone down where I can. You can. I think you can probably hear me. I got the little green lights here, so so anyway. So yeah, I'm just getting used to this setup. So this is how I'm going to have to do my live streams from now on. I'm going to sit over to the side a little bit so that way I don't have the glare, because I look over here and I look like an alien eye. But this is what I'm going to have to do. I've been trying for forever, probably 2 years now, fighting with this and that. I love my OBS, but it's going to be mainly used for recording. I'm going to go to Facebook here in a little bit, and I'm going to set up my OBS for Facebook, and I think I can live stream on Facebook. I tried to hit the little button on Facebook, and just by going that, but I don't have it, and then it goes on for 1 second and then kicks me off. So I'm going to be setting my OBS up for that. So for my live streams now, I've tried on my mobile. I can do my screen recorders on my mobile, which seems to be okay. That works out pretty good. Even I've tried live streaming with Streamlabs OBS even on my mobile unit, but my mobile device, my tablet, it's just that I've got really terrible internet just all kinds of, I'm paying for 25 Mbps download, and I got 1.5 upload, but that's just doesn't seem to cut it. And I could switch over to another carrier, but pay a lot more, which I don't have the money for. So I'm just going to have to do what I have to do, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, now that we've got all the technical stuff out of the way, just want to talk about the Detroit Lions. And I really can't wait for the preseason to start, because trying to watch the Tigers is really a hard thing to do, but I am watching it. But as I watch the Tigers, I'm more and more excited about the Lions season going, because the Tigers need to do what the Lions have done. The Tigers need to redo their general manager, and they need some upper management shakeups. I do believe that Patricia and Quinn are taking them in the right direction. And as far as, and I've said this in other videos before, the Darius Slay and the Snacks Harrison thing, that's, as far as Patricia goes, I'll let Bob Quinn handle all that matter. And I love the way that Patricia handled a question about it, and he just says, basically, he just said, look, we're dealing with the players that are here. We're developing them. He says, I'm only dealing with the people that are here now playing. So in other words, what he's getting at is the ones he wants to make sure that who's there, who's been in camp, and that they're ready to get going from game one, and that's from a game standpoint, as well as physicality and being, the training and being ready to play, that sort of thing, to prevent injuries, because if you're not ready by the time the season starts, physically, you're going to get injured, and that's just what's going to happen. So let Quinn take care of the Slay and the Snacks Harrison thing. That's just the way it is. It's still too early for me to say or predict what the Lions are going to be. I know everybody's talking about the way the schedule is, and that it's going to be a tough schedule. And hey, the Lions have to do one thing. I don't give a rat's butt about what the schedule is. Let it be tough. And the tougher, the better, the way I see it. What the Lions have to do is they have to go there and win games, period. And that's what Patricia's job is. He's got to get his players not only physically ready, mentally ready, all the way through, and that's his job. And the players that if they're not giving it all, well, then they just need to sit down for a bit and have somebody else go in there. And as far going back to Slay, if Slay continues a continued holdout, I kind of think that the guy they got, the cornerback, the rookie from Penn State, I can't pronounce his last name. I'll just say that his last name starts with an O. If he has a good preseason and Slay's not out there, he will probably start. And if he starts, I say great. But hopefully this holdout thing doesn't turn into a big nightmare. But you know, the problem is not going to be with the holdout themselves. It's going to be the local, the downtown, the local Detroit media blowing everything out of proportion as usual. ESPN blowing everything out of out of proportion as usual. Um, and it's because the Lions do the same thing over and over again. They build up and then yeah, they might get a good start and then they flop. Um, so until the Lions start continuously getting a 12-4 record and winning the division and at least winning a playoff game, um, you can expect to see this kind of tactic used because that's all they've proved to show that they get to a point and then they flop on their face. So um, as biased as all the networks are against the Lions, um, it's really disgusting to watch that, and even on the weekly games when they do, um, the Lions are never mentioned uh, anywhere when it comes to the highlights or things like that. But only like if they're playing Green Bay or if they're playing Minnesota or the Bears. The only reason they'll be mentioned that is because they're playing the three other teams. Um, and it's usually to point out how bad the Lions are doing. Um, but anyway, that's I still say my preliminary. I do think the Lions will be better than 6-10. They got to be better than 6-10. 8-8 right now is just kind of a preliminary thing, but we're not going to know more until the preseason starts. And the biggest thing about preseason, a lot of people say, well, it's just preseason, it's just preseason. What the preseason is shows me when I look at the preseason games, it shows me what their backups are going to be like. The final game, Game 4 of the preseason, really shows you what the front, the first string is going to be like through the season. And so if Game 4 is a mess, then you can guarantee almost be guaranteed that season is probably not going to go too well. Um, but but to see the first three games with their other units out there do real well. That is important, and it's not really because with a win loss matters. It's really how they are actually executing and that sort of thing. So they could actually have a loss, but if there's improvement, if you see the linebackers are there in the right spot and they're doing it, um, and and that sort of thing. If you see that there's actually that they're playing their positions right, and if you see a progression, that's what I look at. Oh, that's right. That's one thing I forgot to mention, that they let go of Connor Cook. So I'm not sure who the other backup quarterback is. That's an issue I have. I still think that the Lions need a strong backup quarterback. So Cook is gone. Um, I don't know who the other guy is. I can't remember his name. He's got some experience. I know that much, but for the most part, I still think that, and I would like to see them get maybe a bargain deal if there's a good backup available, that they can pick up for maybe give a 1-year signing, that sort of thing as a good backup. Because as it stands right now, if Matthew Stafford goes down, then basically it's the same old situation. If he goes down, then basically you can kiss the season goodbye. Um, and that's the kind of situation that I hate. most teams, um, even though they're they struggle when their starter goes down. For the most part, they can usually, depending on the severity of the injury too. Um, but if their starter goes down for the season, generally they have a backup or backup or two that are fully capable of at least weathering the storm. Maybe they won't win the division, but at least they'll be competitive. But not with the Lions. If Matthew Stafford goes down, that should basically tank the whole team, and that's no way to run a team. Um, so, and then it gets into the question. There's other channels that say is uh, uh, Matt Stafford really Matt Patricia's or Bob Quinn's quarterback, or even Matt Patricia's quarterback for that. But Matt Patricia has publicly said that Matthew Stafford is his guy. So, but he's pretty much got to say that. So anyway, I'm mainly just testing out the way. This is how I'm going to be doing my YouTube live streams now. It just seems to be the flow is a lot better, um, and I just won't have all the fancy graphics, that sort of thing. I'm just going to have, excuse me, I'm just going to have to do it that way from now on. Yeah, I got the hiccup, so I better end. Uh, anyway, well, that's it. That's just my thoughts, updates on the Lions. I do think they're going the right way. I just can't wait for the preseason to start. There's really not a whole lot to say right now, other that they cut Connor Cook. So, well, we'll see you in the next round. Talk to you later.